I understand your pain. The Kryukoko War. I may think mine was terrible, but yours? It must be a nightmare. I only endured it for a month, but you?
Holy fuck, dude. This isn't Fansly. Why are you jerking yourself off so much? So, there was a game that came out a while back. I personally never really cared for it. I never really kept up with a whole lot of the stuff going on. There was an attempt to boycott it. I was largely against the boycott, but people pushed for it. I think it led to a lot of damaging of the reputation and humanity towards one another within the VTuber scene. A lot of people got really, really super duper triggered over it, kind of thing. There was a lot of bad behavior on both sides of the discourse. But we're going to go over a video from a depressed Nousagi. Those of you on my channel probably, or those in chat, I'm willing to bet you know who I'm talking about. We've covered him a few times. Today, we're going to go over his wizard game saga. The biggest drama, or the biggest drama in VTubing in 20... Why are you calling me? Spam numbers. Okay, so now that you guys know that the Llama Llama song is my ringtone, let's go see what depressed Nousagi thinks about, well, the biggest drama in VTubing. Enough preamble. I gotta display the video. Fuck. Stretch it out a little bit more so you guys can see it. And let's get into it.
It's been quite some time since the wizarding world bled into the real world. Oil and water mix to form an absolute dumpster fire.
Okay, so immediately he's kind of pushing the narrative of keep politics out of my stuff, but whether you like it or not, politics does affect a lot of things. You just can't get away from it, no matter how much you deny it.
Normies and tourists chiming in, fanning and invigorating the fires of spite. Wars were waged, casualties.
That's an interesting framing over, especially Pikami's image, where she, you know, left VMOS and then joined VShojo under a new persona. And this was known about long before the Hogwarts Legacy, but I don't think that's going to be talked about here, is it?
Severe campaigns started. The world was never the same. So much vitriol, so much hate, so much passion spent over one fucking video game. Nay, over one dreaded author. The dust has settled. Many have moved on, but no one will forget. But before we continue, do you know what else is a stranger to drama and haters? VPNs. Specifically, Surfshark VPN, the sponsor of this video.
Hit your bag.
I looked upon his eyes and saw that he too knew the flames of war. I just then felt the compulsion to do as he did. So, I will have to be somewhat vulnerable as well to tell you my story. The VPN today. Ad over.
Thank you.
Hey, it's me, the stranger to drama and haters, and I have been asked by a certain Nousagi to tell you my story. I looked upon his eyes and saw that he too knew the flames of war. I just then felt the compulsion to do as he did. So, I will have to be somewhat vulnerable as well to tell you my story. I call myself the stranger to drama and haters, but in reality, I am no stranger to drama and haters. See,
No matter how big you get, there's always going to be drama and haters, so, like, you can't really posture as a stranger to it, because it is always going to be around. Whether you try to keep it out of your community as much as possible, try to gatekeep it as best you can, it'll always come back. There's no stopping it. 2 and 3, 2 and 3.
I'm a deserter of the Hogwarts Legacy War. I was called by my fury at Pikami's harassment, and like the Nousagis, I knew it would end badly, both for me and for everyone.
So, Nousagi was following Pikami when this went down? I hope he's got screenshots and then looked into who was sending the harassments.
Just like the Cocoa War, different enemies, different times, different weapons. But it's the same battlefield as before. War never changes. So anyway,
I believe he's fully leaning into, like, he knows the level of cringe he's going into, calling, like, Twitter drama a war. I don't really have a point. I just think it's cringe. That is all.
it started back in February of 2023, where gamers all over the world wanted to be wizards. Hogwarts Legacy, the wizard game that would break the internet for the wrong reasons. Many gamers and
God, if you don't know, a bunch of leftists got mad before the game came out, saying we should boycott it, had it trending for months, and then, oh, what a big surprise, the international franchise of a beloved nostalgic game had a lot of sales on it. But there's a lot of bad people that perpetuated harassment because of it. They used it as their excuse. But let's not talk about the website that's dedicated to, doxing and shit. A lot of the same people that get harassed for, being pro-boycott are also the same kind of people that get harassed by the likes of, like, Soy Jack Party. It's neat.
nerds will relive their childhoods, explore the wizarding world like never before, enjoy a good piece of Harry Potter media that doesn't ruin the lore, like the most
Good. I heard at best it was mid.
recent movies. But the recent movies weren't the only controversial things this franchise produced because they were so terrible. The author herself is actually very controversial. Her opinion
Yeah, if you consider being pro-transgenocide controversial, yeah. Yeah. She has a big history of hating trans people. And let's be real, a lot of the defense that people wanted to, or a lot of the arguments people used to be pro-boycott were, this is or made on the franchise of a TERF person. I don't fully buy that argument, but I get where they're coming from. I just don't think it's an act of transphobia to play a fucking game.
on gender and identity politics being controversial to certain demographics. Yikes, dude. Basically a strong portion of the LGBT community.
Yeah, if you didn't see that, that was her, let's actually go back.
Controversial. Her opinion on gender and
Come on.
identity politics being controversial.
At least the Taliban know what a woman is, liked by J.K. Rowling. So, yeah, if you haven't heard, there's a documentary by a fascist that's titled "What is a Woman?" that fails to define what a woman is. It's just about hating trans women.
To certain demographics. Yikes, dude. Basically, a strong portion of the LGBT community hates her and boycotts anything that can and will support her work. That includes any book she produces, any media tied to her name, and anything she can profit from. And as such, when the game got glowing reviews by literally everyone, fans of the franchise rejoiced. This was their time to finally play as a student of the wizarding world. College students taking a break from school to go to another school. Wage slaves with their dreams would finally be able to go back to a much more magical and creative part of their lives. It was finally time to LARP as a magical honorary British. The world
Why don't you just be a VTuber? You can do that anyways without, playing a mid wannabe Destiny 2.
first kind of British. But from the depths of the cesspool known as X, formerly Twitter, J.K. Rowling's detractors raged, cursing the game's existence. This was going to be a hit and they were aghast of the prospect. This game is a danger to trans people and it was going to be harmful for the LGBT community, especially the T. This was going to actually murder people and anyone supporting it are bad.
It's pretty hyperbolic, but that's kind of the sentiment that people pushed. It's part of why I hate tying support of a minority to a boycott of an international studio or an international franchise. It's going to do well anyways, and it's just going to make us look bad, and that's what it did, and it was reified in the VTuber community. Just saying.
Even though the game has a trans character and that the people behind the game, even the staff,
A trans character named Serona Ryan. Keep that in mind.
are actually very actively supportive of the movement. But let's actually just ignore the details. The IPs that Rowling made is evil and anybody who enjoys it are evil themselves. Let's create a website so we can know which supporters of murder we need to witch hunt and boycott. Wink, wink, wink.
What about using like a platform of, Rev and his videos pointing out people we need to harass because of their stupid opinion over the wizard game, and it just happens to be they're pushing for a progressive cause. But keep politics out of my VTuber space, right? Right.
Wink, wink, wink. And the most infamous among them, the genocide supporter, known as Amano Pekame. But first, a little something about Pekame. Pekame is a VTuber under the VOMS
Man,
project.
really going for the sympathy vibe. I do hope he's acknowledging that Pikami is still going strong as Henya, and that Pomu cried on stream about acknowledging that Pikami was graduating, and then there's even been slip-ups where Pomu and Henya have collab together, and Pomu has accidentally referred to her as Henya as her previous life. But let's just ignore all that because we're going into the fear-mongering of trans people are harassing others over like a couple tweets and a website that, let's be real, was taken down already.
She's a VTuber.
Like that video of what streamers have actually played Hogwarts Legacy. You fucking had to log in, and then it's whatever streamers you're currently following. It wasn't a list of like all streamers that ever streamed the game. People really blow their shit out of proportion and don't fucking show their shit. I really wish I'd actually accessed that website and taken screens of that.
That has been around for quite a long time and was instrumental in the foundation of the small corpo and indie EN industry. In fact, her "Let's Kill the Hoe" clip was the one that dragged many people to the rabbit hole, indirectly helping the VTuber industry grow into the size that it is now. She's actually one of the most wholesome and nice
Man, you could make the same argument for Nux Taku and his rabbit holes. But nobody likes him.
VTubers in the world. She was bullied growing up, turning to the internet for some semblance of escapism after years upon years of odd and less than desirable jobs. Everybody loved Pekame. From Hololive to Nijisanji, V Shoujo, and small corpos to countless of indie circles, she was as drama-free and politics-free and unhateable as a VTuber could get. In January of 2022, she took an indefinite break for health reasons, and for her comeback, she decided to make this tweet, expressing her desire to play Hogwarts Legacy as a way to relive her childhood, a franchise that is near and dear to her. Pikami's fanbase were glad that she was coming back, and after a month of inactivity,
Oh, by the way, I appreciate you not spoiling this for me, because I know Lola went over it. I actually wanted to watch her thing, but I also wanted to go over this video myself and then not give a influenced reaction to this video. So, like, I'll be watching it after. I'll be watching Lola's take after this, or after stream today.
it was all celebrations and merriment all around. You probably already know how this story was gonna go. In another timeline, Pikami would have come back from this hiatus and played the wizard game, with nary an infliction to her mental health, without being ground zero of the Hogwarts Legacy drama. Without
God, that is so disingenuous of you, dude. Like, you're playing a clip from clearly 2020 as if the Hogwarts Legacy stuff did affect Henya. It might have. It most definitely might have. But you're not actually showing that. You're just implying that's what you think. Hey, Gotham.
causing any sort of controversy. But we live in a timeline where that didn't happen.
Excuse me.
Pikami was faced with an onslaught of negative comments, calling her names that were
Oh, shit, there is a lot.
controversy. But we live in a timeline where that didn't happen. Pikami was faced
Pikami is not a small kettle bean. She is a woman with a platform and access to the internet. The public has known for 3 years now that J.K. Rowling Gotham uses her bigot money to fund vile assaults on human rights, which actually is true. Whether she wants to or not, by supporting this game, she supports bigotry. I disagree with that part of the take, but J.K. Rowling does use her bigot money to fund assaults on human rights. She creates the social pretext for, the government to be like, hey, look at what this person's saying. Let's push laws to hate people.
with an onslaught of negative comments.
Oh, that's cut off too. Nice, thank you. How does someone know that playing bad fucking thing do Rowling funds and says vile shit? You're supporting. Show the full thing, goddammit. You're cutting this stuff off. Oh, you're getting bullied for playing dumb wizard game, getting abused by chat, gonna cry. Damn, now you know what a fraction of trans folk feel. The ones your money is supporting the abuse of. I don't think the money is supporting the abuse of trans people directly. Let's be real. Rowling got like pittance of royalties from Hogwarts Legacy, and her money has already been declining. She's just one of the biggest known bigots in the world. I tweeted this before I even knew about what happened to Pikami, and now having learned the situation, I'd just like to say lol lamau. Yeah, this person's not exactly a great advocate.
Calling her names that were simply not true, all in the notion of
Just flashing them real quick, making it naughty. Damn it. What was the hotkey for going back a little bit? Legit despise you. Excuse me. Y'all don't really care about trans rights. You're just bullies using trans rights as a weapon. Thus, only gave bigots more of a reason to hate trans people. Pikami didn't deserve this. I do kind of agree with that. I don't think Pikami deserved backlash, but I mean, you make a post on Twitter. It's the nature of Twitter at this point. I am kind of victim blaming here. I'll be real. I'll own it.
criticizing her. She cancelled the stream later, and fans, while upset that Pika was forced to do this, still half expected her return.
I'm just a kettle who wants to play the games. Playing the game doesn't mean I'm supporting something specific. I just want to play the game, that's all. I hope everyone will have a wonderful day. How horrible of her to say. Most worst. Definitely deserving of death threats.
To play another game. They waited for her announcement with bated breath. Hours, days. Weeks came. Nothing. The fan base became scared and furious and grieving. She just took a break and was about to return. Now, she has been pressured into taking another one. And it was her folding that emboldened these harassers to come after other streamers too. If they
Amount of people saying this shit over a year. Maybe I shouldn't do anything I like, haha. I'm sorry for not posting something fun, but getting a death thread. I keep getting blamed for a member left the group. Don't stream on Twitch, etc. I've been depressed and can't take it anymore. I generally want to drop everything. This is why I haven't streamed much, as it's hard to wake up from bed. In the next few hours, I will stream Final Fantasy X, but I thought I would cry when the stream starts because I'm very emotional, so I need to express my feelings. I will delete this later because I don't want to make anybody sad, but thanks for always supporting me. You guys are my everything. Okay, so that was posted to her members only section of her Twitter, it seems. What I will say, I don't deny that there was harassment thrown at Pikami. But I don't think that harassment led to the graduation of her. It's something that it was people being pissy. God damn it, this. I hate people. People getting pissy over a game that didn't really affect them that much beyond tangential thinking. Made me mad.
could take down big streamers like Pikami and bully her enough to make her stop playing the game, then the same tactic should work for everyone else too. As such, the witch hunt continues. Countless of other content creators getting bombarded with discouragement and criticism from playing the game. But then there were actually idiots that decided to harass and bully the living shit out of them. But hey, we can't talk about other lowly forms of content creators like flesh tubers, regular streamers. We're here for VTubers,
The most cringe of them all.
superior kind of content creators. And the week following Pikami's silence, there were other more feisty characters that seemed to raise the middle finger towards the Twitter people, such as the case of Muna, who proceeded to be based, followed by her wife Ayofi, who also proceeded to be based, and followed by literally Nijisanji and Hololive, who proceeded to also be based by playing the wizard game. And you can probably tell how these people reacted. But V Shoujo also had one feisty character who decided to support genocide and advocate for the murder of these people. The absolute slut, the whore, the harpy, the vixen, the vamp, the siren.
Man, you can get away with excuse me. You can get away with a lot of shit on YouTube. Holy fuck.
The man-eater, the total fucking bitch, V Shoujo's Silver Veil. Unlike Pikami, who got harassed even though she didn't play the wizard game, Silver did play the wizard game, making it morally okay to bombard her. The word trans was even muted.
The word trans was muted as the fucking auto mod thing because it was getting brought up and flagged for potentially controversial. That wasn't actually a thing done by Silverveil. What was done by Silverveil was referring to people, or the Twitter freaks, as she called them, you know, the trans activists, referred to them as Twitter freaks, and I believe also cockroaches, from what I've heard, and then never really talked about how tons of people started using her face and posting pictures of cockroaches towards trans people. Just saying, it was a tactic also used in a certain Weimar Germany almost 80 years ago. It was a different minority group that was portrayed that way in the media. Can we not let history repeat itself? Come on.
And although at first it seemed like concerned citizens only criticized the action itself in a polite way, fortunately, there were brave soldiers who went full-blown harassment and throwing a little campaign all over her social media, leading to her breakdown on stream, mentioning how her and her family and her friends were getting hard doxed. And you would think that such harassers...
Where was the doxing? Like, if she was doxed, it's out there. I haven't been able to find it. Like, I don't care about actually figuring out her name or address. I just want to confirm if she was actually doxed. That's literally it. Because I see this claim a lot, but it's hard to find a dox if it doesn't exist.
would have a come to Jesus moment. Maybe rethink their approach if they wanted their boycott to be taken seriously. But if you thought that, you give Twitter freaks too much credit. Because a load of them would even...
Shit, they even sent false DM? Jeez.
Call her crying completely fake and just begging for attention. Oh, woe is me.
Okay, so I have a friend that has been following Silvervale since before Hogwarts Legacy, and I asked how accurate is my take, and they basically said I got it on the money. And my take was pretty much Silvervale wanted to play she builds up her reputation as a comfy streamer. Like, I create a safe space online, you're always going to feel comfortable while watching my stream kind of thing. And then she announced, I want to play this game from my childhood. It's a big nostalgia trip for me. And people in her audience were like, if you play that game, I'm going to be uncomfortable. And then that got to Silvervale because, you know, she's building herself up as priding herself on being a comfortable streamer. And then given her size and just the amount of people, then bad actors start saying worse and worse shit. And then it blows up into, well, what we have today. And yeah, my friend said that pretty bang on with that one. So take it with a grain of salt. It's all conjecture, but that's my opinion on the Silvervale stuff.
Who got unjustifiably harassed after playing the wizard game. Surely, I would fake crying on public, crippling my reputation among certain demographics, fan the flames of an already fierce dumpster fire, and humiliate myself on stream,
I'm just gonna say that there are types of people that will do that. There are types of people that are okay with making themselves look more and more the victim so that they can justifiably attack the people they hate. I don't know. I don't think Silvervale did that. And I think that's what Nousagis here is trying to paint the trans activists as. That's the vibe I'm getting.
For some brownie points among transphobes? Truly, this is one of the business decisions of all time. And another VShojo member, Fruit, on her own chat after Silver cried on stream, even said this, which is widely interpreted to be her supporting the movement while asking.
It says, I love all my friends, everyone makes mistakes, it's only human. So, a lot of people have taken that to kind of just run with it and say Fruit endorses the harassment, therefore leading the harassment campaign, so to speak. It's just a bunch of bullshit. Just a bunch of bullshit.
Asking her crowd to forgive Silvervale? Silvervale then mentioned on her Discord after being reached out by some of the more reasonable.
Thank you for asking here. Instead of dogpiling random tweets, it's not the word trans by itself is held by Automod for review. It's Twitch default Automod behavior. I haven't banned any words in chat other than ones used only for harassment. I didn't know where people are getting these ideas from about me, but it's really hurtful. I'll address it formally when I feel okay enough to talk with everyone.
People.
And I believe that's what Silver had put out in her Discord prior to the Twitter Freak stream.
The reason why the word trans was banned from her Twitch chat was not because she hated the trans people or was against the movement, but because it was under Automod review on Twitch. And that why she decided to blank out from the internet for a while was because she needed time to collect her thoughts before making a statement.
which is actually super duper reasonable if shit is hitting the fan. Collect your thoughts, don't respond immediately out of emotion. Trust me, there is always a deeper hole to dig. Always.
Oh, and while all of this happened, Fruit, while the fires were still fierce, decided to make a stand, making a donation call to Mermaids, a charity group that supports gender-diverse children.
And therefore tying Fruit to being even more pro-harassment and defense of trans people, because that's a thing. Like, I don't get what people's issue with Fruit here is. Wait, unless, was Mermaids the one that turned out to be a bad one? I can't remember. But, like, the idea of just trying to, you know, support trans kids, totally cool. If I'm not mistaken, I believe there is somebody close to Fruit in their life that is trans, and that's why Fruit is being at least more pro-trans than the average bigger VTuber.
But maybe she should have chosen a better trans organization. Not
Oh, yeah. Research your charities, guys.
that the support would mean much anyway, because she actually hasn't fulfilled that promise yet.
Where is the money?
Oh, she did mention that she'll just pick another org. But hey, we'll get to that later. And look, just so we can make it clear here, I support the LGBT plus movement. I support trans people. I support feminism.
You say that, but I don't really get that feeling with the sentiments you're expressing with your video. Just my opinion.
I love women. My mom, VTubers, are women. And hell, most of them are gay or pretend to be, so of course I support them. How can you claim that I don't? Nazuna was also contacted and told not to
Yes, I said I was going to do Harry Potter on stream, but the management contacted me and it became no good. Sorry. Okay.
stream the wizard game. And considering
So you've looked into mermaids and they're not that bad? Okay, so what actually went down with mermaids? Can you fill me in on that? I need these toes. For real, for real. Oh yeah, I need B2, 5, and 6.
how she deals with harassment, I'd say this was a good decision for management. In fact, Holo EN and Niji EN members were prevented from playing the wizard game as well. Niji EN, at least, was confirmed to have been restricted to avoid the drama altogether, and Holo EN, although we have no confirmation, most likely thought the same. I mean,
Well, yeah, a lot of streamers just were like, I don't even want to get tied up into it. I don't even care that much about Hogwarts Legacy. So then they didn't play it.
most other VTubers did avoid the game, actually. Other bigger VTubers also chimed in on Pekamis and Silverveil's harassment, marking the distinction between the LGBT plus community and the rabid hooligans who was ruining the protest and undermining the efforts of the community. Gee, who could have
Yeah, it's interesting. Even though there were bigger people like Shy Lily saying, hey, you shouldn't conflate these bad actors with the entire movement, I just wish people would listen to them. Because that's exactly what they've been doing. So mermaids had a data breach?
thought that other streamers and VTubers are able to have more nuanced opinions on the matter. Maybe there's actually people out there that realize that the LGBT plus community isn't a monolith. That just because you disavow the harassment doesn't mean you disavow the movement. And that just because you support the boycott doesn't mean you support the harassment. But hey, Twitter freaks won't believe that, or in nuance at all. If you're not with us, you are against us.
Wait, who are the Twitter freaks in your opinion? Because Silverveil explicitly coined that for the, trans activists on Twitter that have been harassing her. There has been very, 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 very little clarification from any of the bigger commentators, they typically don't go on and say, hey, this isn't against the broader movement, it's against these specific actors. They just tend to talk in ways that it's fairly vague and kind of condemns the broader movement. They had one member who had once been associated with the map group. Oh, that is not good. I would hope they would be expelled from the group as soon as they get found out.
Silvervale eventually came back to play the wizard game and proudly claimed genocide endorser status, officially telling the Twitter people to fuck off and even coining the term Twitter freaks, which then became a term widely used to describe asshole slacktivists on Twitter who does nothing but harass people. Mainstream news outlets made their...
Why do you need to tie activists to it? Because that kind of paints the picture of all activists do that. And even though you and I can be big brain nuanced and know that there's a difference between that, if you're associating it with activists who harass, people are just going to cut off the who harass part. They're just going to think all activists harass because people are fucking stupid.
Their headlines about the whole situation, and the VTubing community became ground zero of the Hogwarts Legacy drama, infecting our dearest corner of the web with normies and tourists and more V-tweeters. Of course, the harassment intensified, with Twitter freaks now calling to question V-shoujo's moral standing and where they stand in this discussion. How...
Just remember it. Hey, John, what's up? Just remember, they're always going to be doing this kind of stuff where people are always going to be looking for ways to paint you as a bad person. And right now, we're just focusing on trans activists. Where there are a lot of conflation of saying block and report is like condoning the harassment to a lot of these fucking people that are defending Hogwarts Legacy. And again, I don't even care that much about Hogwarts Legacy. I don't care about like Harry Potter. It's a dumb franchise to me. I don't care. But holy shit, do the reactionaries love talking about it as, you know, remember what they took from you. The member was never really a part of the group. Like, he was working with them without knowing who they were. He had left Mermaids when the news on that came out. Oh, okay, so he was trying to, like, keep it hush-hush. And then when that news broke, he was like, bye, Felicia.
Dare these groups of absolute turf...
Oh, Nousagis, you're going on. Like, this tweet is endorsing harassment, but keep in touch with your trans VTuber friends for the next couple of days or so. That Comfy Wolf announcement is sure to make be another catalyst for a hate campaign. Use block and report liberally. For those that aren't aware, this is, I believe, regarding Silvervale leaving V-Shoujo and her announcement. And, well, the goddamn reactionaries will just use literally anything they can to attack the people they don't like. And in this case, it's trans VTubers. So a lot of hate gets thrown out just because they're reminded of one bad thing that happened. Yeah, it's not great. Maybe don't harass people back because they harassed. I don't know. I can't really make that claim. I do harass people that I believe deserve it.
Sluts! Not support the LGBT plus movement and advocate for genocide! Even though Silvervale again voiced her support for the community as a whole and really...
Okay, I'm sorry you had to see that very emotional side of me, but I felt it was necessary to get my side out there. Please don't spread hate towards anyone. We love and appreciate everyone here, and I want you all to remember and treat people how you would want to be treated. If you see hatred, reply with kindness or don't reply at all. Hateful people on Twitter are not representative of the majority of the LGBT community. I wish people would just say queer. Treat everyone with kindness and understanding. You will never know what someone is going through, Be cozy and spread love. Not exactly a bad message. But I mean, actually calling out the people that are using your face, Silver, to call people freaks and cockroaches? Please take a stand against that. That's what I want to see.
Only specified the bullying assholes.
LGBT people are awesome. Twitter people are not awesome. Fuck you.
But shut up! Shut up! He doesn't mean that! Still,
It's contextual or out of context shit right now. That's all I can say. It's like with a lot of people, if you ask them point blank if they're racist, they'll say no, they're not racist. But I just think this blah 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 blah, and then they go on some racist spiel. So you can't really take people's words at it, or take them at their word. Stop! Oh fuck! Get out of there! Can't really take people on their words for what their positions are. You kind of gotta discern those by, you know, talking with them. And if they don't want to engage with drama and politics, well, you're just going to let the horrible people that try to kill others. Stop, Gotham! You're just going to let the horrible people do the thing. Remember that one video? First they came for the Jews, and I stayed silent because I was not a Jew. Or however the fuck it went.
Silvervale is evil! She is endangering people! How is she endangering people? Look! There's a trans V.
Dear VTubers and watchers, words carry weight. Today, I got a call my transgender cousin who did VTubing has passed away. I don't want to get into the details out of respect, but her note explained how she was harassed, bullied, doxxed to the point she gave up. I only hope people stop being assholes. Words, actions, threat, and consistent harassment can turn one of the happiest people. Gotham! I need that! Can turn one of the happiest people you know into a wreck. I'll never be able to support them or their blah. I can't read the rest.
YouTuber who committed suicide because of the harassment from all this Hogwarts Legacy bullcrap. That is this whore Silvervale.
I can't, I just physically can't. If you think Silvervale and the whole VTubing community's fandom did not cause this, you are delusional. Prayers and hopes to the past and their families. Nousagis, are you not taking this seriously?
Silvervale's doing. Her army of turfs.
It's not just Silvervale's community. Actually, I don't even think it was largely Silvervale's community. It's just people from 4chan probably, or Soy Jack Party, that were using that as a fucking cover. God, I need to find something.
All of this. Not only does shit like this sabotage the efforts of the trans community and be used as ammunition against their cause in the future, it also just kind of makes them look bad.
Oh, okay, so it was fake. How do they prove it was fake?
This whore Silvervale's doing. Her army of.
Someone literally died because of the harassment. Silvervale's community sent the poor girl's way. If you support Silvervale and are against trans rights, you're no longer allowed in my community. Holy shit, who?
Turfs cause all.
I'm so sorry for your loss. Comfort Wolf and our community are responsible for this.
All of this.
Well, just got proof my abuser never changed. Caught lying about having a trans friend commit suicide. Lying for clout as ever. This is a serious thing, and it's disgusting that you'd use this to garner clout, you pathological liar. Alright, because this is picking up traction. Do not use this as an excuse to further anti-trans messages. I am non-binary. I am trans. I stand behind my trans brothers and sisters who do die from harassment. The person did a shitty thing, but this does not make our troubles false. I've been informed the person was lying. I hate to see someone lie about something. I mourned for this person. I feel so sick. Cis people are always making it worse for us. I'm so tired of it. Trans death is so serious and happening every day. It's not a tool for clout. Holy fuck, I'm done, I'm done. What is the proof that they're a liar? There was a claim that there was proof of it. My abuser, when I vaguely speak about it, she's the reason I have so many trust issues, and I'm always afraid to mess people first.
Not only does
Okay, so you just posted pictures saying they were lies. I can't confirm or deny whether or not somebody actually did commit suicide over that. I do know there are dedicated websites like Soy Jack Party that are trying to get streamers to, or like trans people, VTubers, minorities, whoever. They don't like a lot of people. They're trying to get them to commit suicide, preferably on stream so they can clip it, because they want to justify that shit. They want to dance and laugh about it publicly. But no, the trans activists are the bad ones.
shit like this sabotage the efforts of the trans community and be used as ammunition against their cause in the future, it also just kinda makes them look bad. Other than this person pretending
So does the goddamn boycott. But we're not talking about the boycott right now, are we?
to have a dead trans cousin for clout and attention, a few people were also pretending the harassment didn't happen and that this was some manufactured outrage just to undermine the cause.
What? Not sure if people realize this, but the majority of hate and doxing that streamers are receiving from the Wizard game is manufactured by right-wingers to damage the reputation of trans people, and it's working flawlessly. PsyOps are at an all-time high right now. I can confirm, I tried to look back into some Pick-a-Me videos and then see what was actually said to her. I saw a few accounts tweeting or in the comments saying, or not comments, in the chat saying transphobe. And then I looked up one of their, I looked into the multiple accounts. One of them was already deleted. The other one only had a picture of a dead bird. I don't know how many leftists post videos of dead animals to YouTube. So, like, okay.
The war raged on. Many streamers played the Wizard game. Some avoided it, not out of principle, but because they didn't want to deal with the drama with Twitter freaks. Days passed. Weeks. Silence from Pick-a-Me worried her fanbase. In the meantime, Nijisanji and Hololive members, again excluding EN, were just casually enjoying the game. And they're having
Because a lot of the discourse was in the Western sphere. There's a lot of disconnect between the Japanese and the English circles of VTubing. Thought you were aware of that, Nousagi.
a great time. The drama was dying down a few days later, as all dramas do. They just fade into the abyss, into irrelevancy, and as something to laugh at, as the internet waited for the next piece of news to pour outrage over. All of this, while heated and quite upsetting, regardless of which side you are, was supposed to be just A-tier drama at best. Pick-a-Me would come back in a victorious feast and celebration from her fans, telling everyone to go fuck themselves. The Twitter freaks would latch on to the next.
Yeah, because the Cozy Kettle would tell everybody to go fuck themselves. Man, and I love that these people call others tourists. I don't even watch Pick-a-Me, but from what has been shown in this video, my god.
Next non-VTuber streamer playing the Wizard game and leave the VTubers alone, and it would be business as usual. But God himself decided to grip this filthy drama cow's teats and squeeze its milk for all it's worth.
you talking about Pippa?
Oh,
Come the beginning of March, nearly a month after Pika got harassed, her fans were met with a graduation announcement instead of a triumphant return.
Talk about Pomu. Talk about Pomu's talking about this. Man, you're just really flashing over a lot of text.
Her live streams and videos privated, her social media deactivated.
Well, no, you'd think he showed if she did say that, lol? No. He was posturing that that Pikami should have come back and told everybody to go fuck themselves. And I'm like, that's a mischaracterization of Pikami. Because it was like what he wanted Pikami to do.
Her merge discontinued, and literally all content pertaining to her in any way in the official VOMS channel wiped. Pika would go the unbased.
So y'all know this is fairly common in VTuber graduations where everything gets kind of wiped. So let's just make sure let's get special outrage because it's Pikami.
Route and denounce her genocide supporter status. And the entire English VTuber industry erupted. If the Pikami harassment and the Silver Veil harassment was a dumpster fire, Pikami's graduation was a stinky firestorm. This pushed the fanbase from the defensive.
Yeah, the trans people are the ones that are pushing all the harassment campaigns. Fucking... I hate people, man. I hate people so much.
To the offensive, attacking every single person they could find, even those in the LGBT plus community that had nothing to do with the drama. Not that there were a few bad actors that were already doing so, it's just that this time, it went maximum overdrive. Fans were out for blood, and spill them, they did. Hell, it was not just the fans, it was also a few VTubers. VTubers like Pippa, who actually played the wizard game.
So yeah. What kind of message do you receive when you see a tweet that says, I hate this franchise, but I hate people on Twitter more? When there's been a huge discourse for months about if you want to show support for trans people, don't play this game. What more do I really need to say?
Not because she liked the franchise.
Aside from there was a lot of clips of her being like Nazi posting kind of thing.
In fact, she said she doesn't like it, but out of spite. And the tweet itself garnered a shit ton of attention of all sorts, gaining the VTuber notoriety. Pippa was the one who turned this shitstorm into a shit hurricane.
Yep. Pippa got real popular off of that one.
It also gave her a massive boost and elevated her career. One VTuber's rise to pay for one VTuber's fall. A fair trade, many people would say, much to the chagrin of all Twitter free.
I would much rather have Pikami than Pippa. That's just me, though. I just prefer if they're quiet about their Nazi dog whistling. That's a joke, by the way. I don't know if Pikami did any Nazi dog whistling. I know Pippa has.
While a lot of people genuinely supported Pippa's protest and supported this massive fuck you to the Twitter freaks, a lot of people in the morally distasteful sorts also generally saw Pippa as a symbol of aggressive conduct, I suppose.
Interesting. I got my money on this person's a tanky. Why else would you have the China flag in your bio or in your name? Yeah, getting a little nostalgic. That's one word for it.
And that was bad. A lot of people understood that this was just Pippa saying fuck you to the Twitter freaks, not the actual LGBT plus community that took no part of this. It prompted her to make a follow-up tweet to explain things. The unfortunate part of
Okay, so you're not actually going to read it, you're just going to say she made a clarification. From Pippa. Notice, it's nice to meet you all. It's been a hectic past few days, and I'm not sure how to word this properly. While I do appreciate you all, or while I do appreciate all the kind messages, I don't appreciate being used as an excuse to attack other people. And that's why you joke about screaming, or that's why you joke about shooting up Walmarts. Let's not shit fling and attack other people's identities. If I see it, I'll be blocking and banning you from my community like I do the rest of the trolls and bullies. Then why do you joke about the JQ, Pippa? Do not try and misinterpret my words and use me as a banner to attack people. Literally, she's done JQ posting. She said there's always... Oh, what if I told you there already was a secret cabal of people trying to control the world? And then her chat spammed oy vey. How much clearer do you need to be for that?
See, the unfortunate part of doing what
Do I actually need to go through and all that? Because I can.
Pippa did is that it's volatile. The reality of this entire drama was that there were bad actors for both sides of this war. On
True.
one side, there were people who genuinely supported the LGBT+ movement and are massively upset and were in the defensive. They don't blame the entire community or their allies or the trans community for this. They just don't like the bad apples that started bullying innocent people and were referencing those instead of grouping them all together. And there were also those who just kinda used the war as an excuse to attack a community that they perhaps always hated or perhaps have now started to hate. Out for blood and going full mask off and being transphobic and being indiscriminately hateful in the name of a VTuber they love. Some people even concerned Andied and pretended to be upset VTuber fans just to join in on the war. And on the other side, there were allies and LGBT figures themselves who genuinely dislikes and disavows this hateful bullying campaign. Some people just wanted to protest in peace, but again, there were also bad apples among those allies.
You're just describing everything. There's bad actors in literally everything. But we're going to make it super special about this Hogwarts Legacy for some reason.
And people so far in the deep end of politics that they genuinely think harassing other people were justified. People who decry hatefulness but are hateful themselves. This was what Pippa wanted to understand with this tweet. She didn't want people, regardless of their side, to get the wrong idea. This is what Pikame, Silverveil, Shylily, and other VTubers wanted to understand. And unfortunately, some people just couldn't understand that. Again, regardless of which side you are, it's that you're either with us or against us mentality that is always so dangerous. There will always...
And there's a lot of people that will just use that anyways. Because, like, another community that has that kind of problem, Lolicon community. You're either with us or you're a pedophile. That's their defense. Kind of funny.
Be bad people, regardless of which community you are in. The irony of reality is that any group branded as peaceful or provides a safe space can sometimes turn out to be the most abhorrent and terrible group you can find, and that any group branded as hateful or morally incorrect can sometimes turn out to be the most understanding and friendly group you'll bump into. After people...
It's certainly a possibility, but, like, you do kind of got to live with the reputation you choose to build for yourself. Like, knowing all the discourse going on, and then Pippa makes her, I hate this game, or I hate this franchise, but I hate Twitter freaks more. You kind of got to expect people to think you're going to be... You kind of got to think people are going to assume you're transphobic over that kind of stuff. Like, I don't blame people for misunderstanding things I've said. I own the shit I've said. Mostly because I'm not a coward.
Pippa played the wizard game and joined in, there were a few cancellation attempts that ultimately didn't go anywhere, but eventually, the hate died down. The wizard game, as all single-player games, eventually lost interest in the public eye. And the drama became S tier because of all that happened. The VTubing industry became the battlefield of this culture war. Pikami, my beloved. I didn't want to live without her. I escaped the rabbit hole ever since. War is hell, I tell you. Nobody wins in conflicts such as these. I came to this show, to this channel, because it gave me a voice. But now I'm ready. The end, you bastard. I understand now the flames of war. The peace that was robbed from you. I understand your pain. The Kryukoko War. I may think mine was terrible, but yours? It must be a nightmare. I only endured it for a month, but you?
Holy fuck, dude. This isn't Fansly. Why are you jerking yourself off so much?
For almost an entire year. Oh, I can't stomach the thought. I bet you still have nightmares over it. I wish I was as strong as you, to have your resiliency, to have the strength to carry out what Pikami embodied. She was a symbol of peace, of fun and enjoyment, and I failed her. I joined the war. I did things, terrible things, and now I must pay for them. I must join my beloved Oshi. I've fulfilled my end of the bargain now. I've told people my story. So now, it's time to fulfill yours. Please. Wakata. Avada Kedavra.
This is so fucking cringe. Oh my
Oi,
God.
mate, there's a new V-Shoujo member about to debut soon. Yeah? What about it? Lots of rats that it might be Pikami, man. You might want to see it. That's impossible. Pikami is tired of VTubing. The voices in my head tell me so. Besides, she has current health issues. I know she's friends with V-Shoujo members, but to literally graduate and rebuild her career, she set up herself as Pikami? It doesn't sound like a good... Just fucking listen, man.
Henya, K9 Kuro, Matara-kun. There's probably more. Actually, yeah, there is more. K-san. There are multiple VTubers that were at previous or at other agencies that have joined VShojo since. Oh my god, people just get so fucking attached to their Oshis, it's disgusting.
Fine. Give me that.
Hello! Hello! Henya! Can you guys hear me?
Oh.
Hello!
Huh.
Konnichiwa!
The bastard died for no reason.
Gozai-
Well, seems like I have to fill in his shoes. Anyway, turns out Pikami has been planning this graduation for quite a long time. Now, a lot of people may have thought that this is cope, and that the Bombs project just did this as an attempt to not fuel the drama. But, I mean, come on, Pikami graduated at the end of March, and Henya came on May, and has an entire lore animation, trailer, a decent model, and everything. That's a 1 to 2 month window. Anyone, and I mean anyone, working in this industry would probably guess that you cannot make all the work that was set for Henya in only 2 or even 3 months' time. A debut of this magnitude would have been close to impossible in the short time frame that they have. No.
Yeah, almost like she was planning it for a while. Almost like it had nothing to do with the harassment. Because you're going to get harassment anyways as a public figure. And I don't know how long Henya, the talent behind Henya, has been in content creation, but I'm willing to bet it's something she definitely already knew.
Nobody just thinks of this kind of shit on a whim, you know? There's also the fact that people were pretty much already talking about how they knew Pikami's graduation.
Thank you for actually talking about or showing the Pomu. You're not actually going to show her crying on stream, probably not, but yeah, Pomu is really affected by this. and confirmed that she'd known for a long time.
Long time ago.
I did know in advance
See?
about this because she did message me. She messaged me at the end of January that, you know, she was deciding this.
So, suffice to say, I really don't think the harassment was a direct cause of Pikami's graduation. But, that doesn't mean the harassment didn't do any harm though, because aside from her
Oh yeah, most definitely. The harassment will still affect people. It doesn't really matter that much. That's not the right term. The harassment's still going to affect people, like, because at bigger sizes, tons of people find out about this shit, and they want to just leave their 2 cents and walk away. And when just one person does that, not a big deal. Easy to shrug off. But when 10,000 people do that, a little harder to just shrug off and walk away. Especially when those 10,000 messages are coming out over a couple days where you just can't stop it from coming on. Unless you, like, you know, block notifications, delete the app kind of thing. Mute the threads. But basically, ContraPoints put it the best. The snowflake doesn't need to feel responsible for the avalanche. And, well, I get that vibe a lot in the VTuber scene.
mental health, Pikami was literally just about to come back from a 1-month half break. She was silent for an entire goddamn month before this graduation announcement, cutting a lot of time between her and her fanbase and potentially expediting the graduation process, making the experience worse for everyone. Now,
one point that I think is kind of left out a lot, maybe it was conditions at VMOS that caused Henya or Pikami to need time away. Cause like, maybe it's not the best work environment like Neji Sanji. Maybe it's just too much pressure. And the talent just needed to get away and then do their content in their own way. Yeah, exactly, Angel Tail. Henya and Pikami would never agree with the attacks made against trans folk in their name. It's just people using their names because, well, they like the design or whatever. They're using that as an excuse to attack people, and they don't actually care about what the actual person says. They just want to defend their favorites.
Henya's appearance did two things. It made the people who actually harassed Pikami or supported her harassment feel vindicated. And the other thing is that it actually lifted V-Shoujo's reputation from a sinkhole at that time. 2 weeks or so before Henya's appearance, Silverveil, Veibai, and Nyanners actually left V-Shoujo, with quite a lot of drama around Silverveil seemingly throwing shade at Iron Mouse.
That Silverveil announcement was the one that, where was it? There was that real drawn tweet. That's what he was talking about, the comfy wolf. He's talking about Silverveil leaving V-Shoujo here.
And Veibai explicitly saying that being in the company was not a good financial decision for them. There were even fears that Iron Mouse might even leave, and that she was still negotiating with the company. All of this led to V-Shoujo tanking reputational and probably internal damage, with some, including yours truly, questioning the longevity of the company with the mode of business that it has. There also seemed to be nothing to indicate that Fruit or the harassment played in Silverveil's decision, although a lot of people were happy that Veil was leaving V-Shoujo. But hey, I guess the feeling was mutual because she seemed to be pretty content in leaving too. Henya's appearance actually made everyone forget about what just happened, with people now praising the company for saving this girl in need of a good home. But we're not done talking about V-Shoujo because we're still yet to talk about one particular member, Apricot Fruit. Alright.
But you have talked about Fruit here before. You've showed this tweet before in this video.
Right, so remember this. It's
Yes.
pretty tiring to spam the worth the money Fruit memes, but essentially, yeah, could have chosen a better trans org. And she did say she would swap out the org if need be, so I really also don't think it's not that deep. Besides, mermaids actually underwent immediate action and removed that one pedo from their group, so that's good. Still feel iffy about them secretly giving kids breast binders and making not entirely accurate claims that
Chest binders is fine. What's wrong with chest binders? Aha, I figured out which button is the slow one. Telegraph alleged on September 27th that there are concerns about mermaid safeguarding, discreetly sending binders to children as young as 13, 14 whose parents will not let them use one. Yeah, so basically, for those that don't know, a chest binder is something to flatten your growing chest. So if you don't want to have booba stick out too much, you put one of those on and then you have a flatter chest that can appear more masculine. Now, people will use this as a way of it saying you're trying to groom people into being trans, which is not the case. You don't groom people into that. People just exist, and then you give them something to help make them feel better in their bodies. And with a lot of trans men who were born signed female at birth, a binder can help them feel a lot more comfortable in their own body. Mermaids told the Telegraph it took a harm reduction approach as gender diverse children could adopt other unsafe practices or experience dysphoria without a binder. For those that don't know, dysphoria is a recognized medical condition that is treated with gender affirming care, which at young ages, as like 13, 14, it's the clothes they wear. It's the names other people call, or it's the name they want to go by. It's the pronouns they want to go by. It's a lot of social transitioning. And usually, maybe even puberty blockers, which are reversible, by the way. The Telegraph quoted the Metropolitan Police, who acknowledged that the supply of a breast binder on its own is not a criminal offense. Yeah, because it's just a stretchy piece of fabric that goes around your torso. However, the police also said it would investigate jointly with social services as potential child abuse any report of someone using a breast binder to undergo the practice of breast ironing. What the fuck are they thinking breast ironing? What? I am so confused with that. Telegraph also claimed in the same article that the charity was telling children that puberty blockers were reversible. Yes, puberty blockers are reversible. We've known this for a very long time. We've used them since the 80s.
that may have life altering
He's just posting these things really quick and having a fear-mongering tone with the kind of trust me bro thing. However, as queer outlet Pink News later pointed out, this claim is not entirely accurate. The commission had opened a regulatory compliance case. This is different to an investigation, which is typically called a statutory inquiry. Yeah, I'd like to know which actual company that came from. Telegram, I guess. The Charity Commission confirmed concerns have been raised with us about mermaids' approach to safeguarding young people. We have opened a regulatory compliance case and have written to the trustees. We now await their reply. Mermaids replied it would be responding directly in due course with the commission. There has been no confirmation of suspected wrongdoing. Oh, how horrible of them.
consequences to children, though. But the reason why a lot of people shat on her for this wasn't really because of the organization that she chose. That was just an add-on reason to hate on Fruit.
Note, there are people who were genuinely concerned about the choice of charity, but most of them just came across like this tweet was just more ammunition against Fruit rather than an actual concern. Though I could be wrong. In fact, I most likely am. Yeah, that's why you say allegations or accused of.
Even more. While the sentiment shown is good, the actual reason why a lot of people did not like this was because they interpreted it as Fruit throwing Silvervale under the bus after she broke down on stream. That this was
Yeah, and there was also that tweet where, or not that tweet, that message in a stream that was like, everybody makes mistakes, it's only human. That also further led people to think Fruit was throwing Silver under the bus, which I don't think was the case.
Just grandstanding in the middle of the Pikami bullying and the Silvervale harassment, making it worse and making it seem like she chose the side of the harassers, even if that
Reminder, she threw Silvervale under the bus despite being her, quote, friend for playing a video game. Let's not forget she did the same to her ex-husband. The timing was just bad, basically. I have no idea what the fuck is going up with Fruit's ex-husband.
was not her intention. Unlike the statements of those before and after her, this didn't really have any nuance or specifics placed in it, so many people couldn't pick out any specifics from it either. That vagueness is the breeding ground for many people to come to their own conclusion, and usually, it's the worst kind of conclusion. Most
That's why I'm here.
indie VTubers who got caught in the crossfire actually suffered a similar fate, by not specifying and differentiating or even
Holy shit. Bob feels that Nousagis is trying to balance his analysis, but he ends up using transphobic propaganda versus gender-affirming care in the UK. Yeah. And a lot of the removal of gender-affirming care in the UK is because of, political attacks from the Tories. They're trying to take away all that stuff. It's not even medically backed that they're doing it. They're just stopping it because they don't like it. People who support the trans community may tolerate criticism, not harassment, or not. Oh, God. People are just overthinking this way too much.
identifying that such a divide was there, both sides just kind of assumed the worst conclusions from each other, and assumed that they were in support of the bad actors. The second reason people were mad at this was that she said she was going to donate that money, something that, until now, hasn't been publicly fulfilled. People wanted her to put her money where her mouth is, especially since she did grandstand and made an entire song and dance about it.
That is a valid criticism. If there is confirmation of Fruit posting to or donating to the charity or whatever, I would be happy to see that. Though largely, I don't care that much. People grandstand over so much. Yeah, he's trying to be neutral in this video, but he's largely just showing Twitter freaks.
Regardless of the organization she chose, which again, she would choose a better org, she had to give the money. Send out the 50-something grand to the organization she declared she would give it to. But she
Give it to Trans Lifeline. I did a charity for them.
has not. Even if she didn't state a deadline, every single day that she delays serves as ammunition to many of her haters. Not that the roars of her haters matters to her though, because she's going the ignoring the haters approach. She learned well from Pikami, if she learned it.
Oh my god. I'm gonna be honest, as a big public figure, the ignoring haters approach doesn't work that well. You don't want, in my opinion, you don't want to engage with every single dissenter, because that will never end. Basically, you want to try and find the most recurring accusations that people are making about you, and then addressing that directly. Talking about your side of things, explaining yourself. Because like if people are accusing you of doing something you haven't done, all you can really say is you didn't do it, and then you just got to do your best to explain whatever out of context stuff they have gotten of you. God. Man, it could be so easy to cancel people, but like so not worth the effort.
It from Pikami at all, or was just advised not to do so. At this point, giving out more money than intended would be the reputational W for her. In any case, Pikami found a new home. Silvervale discovered a newfound determination. Her skin toughened, mind tempered, and Pipa enjoys a career she only dreamed of attaining. At the end of the day, perhaps this drama was a blessing in disguise for the VTuber industry. The
No,
worst
it wasn't. It really
has
wasn't.
passed. It's certainly not the most disastrous war that has been waged in this industry, but nor will it be the last. But for now, the soldiers can come home, return to your Oshis, live in the perpetual state of being entertained, consume your VTuber brain rot, and live happy.
God.
Hogwarts and its legacy.
It is. I just can't get over how fucking cringe it is to refer to this shit as like a war. I think that's so bad. But hey, talk how you want to talk, I guess.
Legacy in this little corner will be remembered forevermore as a swirling, stinky.
Ow, that hurt my ears. Well, that was a video. So yeah, I think there was a lot of bad shit in the Hogwarts Legacy timing. A lot of it was overblown, and a lot of it, the people don't really talk about like the constant death threats that trans people were getting. And I don't even mean light death threats. I mean like, we are going to excuse me, we're going to create a crudely drawn picture that is supposed to represent a man in a dress that is hanging themselves, and then I'm going to put this into a swastika position, and then it's going to be spinning. And I only know that exists because that was literally sent to me. I would show you, but I'm on YouTube and there's TOS. Like, people just don't actually want to acknowledge that. Like, Nousagis did a bit in this video that there are people that are just making or just using whatever drama they can to attack the people they hate. And holy shit, do some people hate trans people. Oh, I'm fine. Don't worry, Joestar. I get a lot of bad shit. But, yeah. Whether you like it or not, if you want to be a public figure, you got to accept the fact that you're going to get harassed. It's part and parcel of being a streamer, part and parcel of being a big public figure. You're always going to be criticized. You're going to be harassed over stuff. Don't cry about it, play victim. That's my big concern anyways. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Subscribe for more content, and if you want to join the community, feel free to check out the Discord. I love to voice chat in there, so if you want to ever talk, I'm usually available. Well, in the afternoons.